Good afternoon from Snake Mountain Boat Works on Tuesday, January 26th. Another milestone has fallen, a really important one, and rather than steal any of his thunder, I will simply hand it off to John.
Okay, the other day when we finished up the video, we were ready to start with patterns on the bottom and to do the first layer of plywood. So what we did for the patterns is Michael goes down and gets some construction paper, and we use these square sheets of construction paper to do the patterns with. Now, when I sat on my construction paper, it's awful flimsy and floppy. It goes down in between the frames. This is wider than one piece of paper, and I'm going to have to double up the paper everywhere. So rather than running something for a board down the center to run my pattern on, I just put a piece of string. Just took a regular piece of dry rope, dry line, and I ran it down through on top of the frames, which actually support my pieces of paper as I'm doing my patterns. The reason I need to have it supported is because I'm going to have to tape all these pieces of paper together as I do my patterns. I will cut around the outside edges, and I will just keep layering the paper over itself, and I will get a really wild looking pattern, but in the end what I will get
Oh, I think we should leave the bottom just like that. That's kind of pretty.
Okay, well, what I did is I put a bunch of them pieces together, cut them for the edges, and taped them all together because I wanted the psychedelic looking bottom. And of course they have to catch the frames when I put it back together. Okay, so and then as you go along, you got to end the patterns on. You got to end the pattern on the frames the same as you would the plywood, and of course the patterns catch the frames as you do it. Get it all synchronized here. Okay, so we got as we get down to the end here, what happens is the plywood doesn't want to bend both directions. So you can't really cut this out of one solid piece, which I would be able to do because plywood is long enough to do it, but then I wouldn't be able to bend this into where I have to bend it. And with the patterns all done, you can just lay them on top of a piece of plywood and mark them out. You put them in, and of course they don't just drop right in place because they have to sit down in the groove here, and they have to be fitted for everywhere. Even after you use the patterns, you have to do a little bit of sanding with a belt sander in order to fit them in. But okay, this is what was the first step to putting the bottom layer of plywood on. Okay, and after we put these patterns on the plywood and cut them out, we ended up with the sheets of plywood like this side here, all set in place. The pattern worked for both sides. It just had to be sanded in a little bit.
Which is an excellent sign. That says the whole shape is true.
That says things are really good and close to, really close, and that's all you can really ask for. We sanded them all in, and of course this piece is really hard to do. We had to push this down, put a screw in this corner, then somebody has to get up on that other corner and stand right on it and get a screw in that. Same goes for this little piece right here. We had to really work to get that in, and then just to fit it, I put in a row of screws down through here, and a screw in this corner here just to pry it into place and make sure that it would all go down nice and snug fit. Nice fit with this one here. We got all that. We took the plywood back off. Michael is sealing the plywood.
And there is the port side plywood. All sheets have now been double coated. The inside of each sheet will next receive 2 coats of Interlux bilge coat, And by tomorrow night, we should have some plywood on this puppy. So that's where we are today on January 26th with the 1953 22-foot Shepherd Sportsman model 110S. Thank you so much, John, and thank you all from Snake Mountain Boat Works. Bye-bye for now.